Hey book friends, what's up? Thanks for stopping by for today's video. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kat. I read primarily romance novels. And I am always joined by my dog Macy, who you probably just heard snore in the background and get comfortable. She's always hanging out with me at my feet while I make my videos. I hope you'll take a look around my channel and check out the other videos I've done. I would love to hear if you have read some of the other books that I have, so leave me a comment on the video if you have. Today's video is on the book Playing Offense by Michelle Geel, or Geel. She's a friend, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name specifically. I'm sorry, Michelle. I feel like we've talked about it already. But in any case, I have read Michelle's other two books. I did a video on one of them. The other one was before the time that I started my channel. Her other two books are Finding a Keeper and Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide just blew me away. I loved that book. The interesting thing about it is, and I know it's kind of like a polarizing thing, but it's written in the third person. I generally like dual perspective. I recently read a book that had many perspectives, which was super interesting, and I felt like getting all those different perspectives helped peel back the layers of the story. But I know when it comes to third person, some people can't get into it. I would have said before that, that would be the class that I would fall into. But let me tell you, Crimson Tide, the way Michelle wrote it, oh my gosh, I totally fell in love with it. Now, that being said, I have read other books since then, not nearly as good as the way Michelle did it. So I would highly recommend you checking out Crimson Tide. I will, of course, put a link to the video in the description box below. And also I want to mention that in all my videos, I do put a link directly to Amazon. It's usually a tiny URL link or a bit.ly link because, of course, the Amazon links are like so big. So don't be put off by that. It is a direct Amazon link. Let's get into talking about Playing Offense. Playing Offense is part of the Girl Power series. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. What a great idea, especially in 2020. I'm actually going to pull up and read specifically what it says about this series from Amazon. The Girl Power collection is a celebration of feminism in an unprecedented manner, which will serve as an inspiration for millions of readers around the globe. Over the years, men that have made landmark achievements in different facets of life have often been celebrated, with very little stories about badass women that have excelled in their respective positions. While there are some works that highlight the fantastic achievements of women in powerful positions, there is no particular project exclusively dedicated to celebrating the girl power. The compilation contains short stories with the theme of girl power in whichever way the author defines it for herself and her readers. The 33 romance stories are narrated in a diverse yet entertaining and inspiring way and will be released in regular intervals throughout 2020. So I knew Michelle was writing for it, and I was super excited to get her story. And the thing is, I feel bad, I haven't read many of the other 33, oh my gosh, 33 short stories. But if those stories are anything like Playing Offense, I know I'm gonna love them, and I'm sure you will too. Playing Offense is about Quinn and Damien. Quinn is just girl power personified. I really liked her. When the book starts, she has just lost her father, who was the owner and general manager of a successful NFL football team, who is in the rebuilding stages. She and her father were very close. He taught her everything he knew. So when right there, automatically you think football, not a lot of women involved in football. But Quinn knows her stuff, and he has put her in place to be his successor. And that's where the book starts. She's kind of showing up on her first day of work. She has a very dear friend, Dandy, great name, who was her father's confidant and very good friend. She grew up with him, and he's there as her support and also the head coach. I loved their relationship. Quinn is strong. She left her career to go step into her father's footsteps. She knows what that entails. She wants to do right by him and serve his legacy in the business and with the team well. I felt all of that. I really liked her. Damien arrives on the scene. He is I don't want to say former, but he's a currently injured, very well-known football player who shows up, and she's like, what are you doing here? Turns out they were childhood friends. It is a second chance romance. You know, I've tried to be better about telling you about which trope each book is. Second chance is one of my very favorites. I always like seeing where it went wrong and how they make it right. So Damien shows up and she's like, what is he doing here? We know that there's a little more than meets the eye with the two of them. The thing I really liked as well about them is that, I mean, Michelle has great humor. Her word choices and her wit that she has with her characters make me laugh. And Quinn's reaction and the inner dialogue that we get from Quinn is funny and yet very endearing, and I connected with her easily. We know that she is like very attracted to him and she talks about that. We also know that there was a pivotal moment when they were in high school that changed things. And I wanted to know if we were going to get that. And I was glad to see that we did get that backstory. The interesting thing about Damien is he just kind of steps in and he's there as a consultant for the team. And so he's not playing, but he's just kind of there, and then he's there with them. And I loved the kind of angsty part that we got with them and figuring out what happened and how they were going to get together. Poor Quinn, man, she is backed kind of up against the wall. The team does not accept her. You know, it's a man's world, and she's trying to earn their respect, and she keeps hearing them talk about her, and they're not nice. And they're like, why is she even here? What would she have to know about the game? All that kind of stuff that you can assume with this book. My heart was sad for her because she knew her business. She could be a great GM if they just gave her the chance. But she kept coming up against brick wall with them. And not that Damien swooped in to save her, but he was there when she needed him, even though she didn't ask for it. He just was. And I love that about him. On my channel here, I always like to share my favorite passages. Of course, I highlight a lot in books that I like. This is something that Quinn shares, and this one really got me. I should probably be grateful that my father is not alive to see me become his greatest disappointment. Quinn Lawson, who needed a measly few weeks to prove herself the utter failure everyone claimed her to be. She's trying with these guys. Even though she said that and she was feeling down, I knew she wouldn't give up, because that's not her. Changing direction a little bit, one of the funniest things that Quinn said that I burst out laughing with, and this is where, when I was talking about Michelle and her writing, this was something she said, and it just hit me, and I loved it. Sweet Jesus, help me. I could be stone cold and 6 feet under, and I'd still react to hearing this man call my name. If that doesn't describe their attraction, and let me tell you, they are very steamy. Michelle goes there, and you just feel all of it, like in a really good way. There's definitely enough drama and romance and sexy time packed into this short story, and this is one of the romantic times that I really liked. Damien and I have been talking nonstop for a few hours already, sharing snippets of our lives after fate had separated our paths. Throughout it all, the topmost thing that's been milling in the back of my mind is how immensely attracted to him I remain. Despite the anger, despite the disappointment, despite the hurt. And it's utterly effing vexing that my heart refuses to acknowledge even a single one of all the reasons why Damien is the absolute worst ever choice for it. Oh, but he's doing all these great things that I'm like, girl, it's okay. Let him in a little. And then I think it was Damien that said this. And you know when you find those lines in books where you're like, whoa, this was a line that I will remember forever. Maybe some yesterdays are worth forever. Ugh, I loved that. And where it fits in the book when it was said, we always hear, don't look back, you're not going that way. That's something that I really try myself to remember. But when they said this, yeah, I agreed with it. I think some yesterdays are worth forever. Let me know if you have read Playing Offense or Michelle's other books. Let's chat about them. While you're here, I would welcome you to subscribe by clicking the red button below and also giving the video a thumbs up if you liked it. When you do that, it not only helps my channel, but it will help this video get shown to more people here on YouTube. I welcome you to come over to my social media, which is Kat Reads Romance on Facebook and Instagram, and say hello over there. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.